So President Donald Trump has taken a major hit because the director of National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent, has resigned. And what's the most sad part about this is a veteran, speaking as a veteran, is the amount of people that have taken this and called Joe Kent an anti-Semite, a Jew hater, and a traitor, some of them, with no proof. We're going to get into that. But the amount of hate that this warrior who lost his wife in battle has endured is beyond belief. We're going to get into what his resignation letter looks like and what's to come and what other people have been saying about this particular matter. Some sad statements, I tell you. But listen, don't forget to smash the like button. Help the channel grow. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Very important. As well as, of course, share it and hit the bell for notifications so you get notified. This is Chris Rodriguez, the Veteran Uncensored show. All right, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right down to it. What did he say? Joe Kent says, after much reflection, I have decided to resign for my position as Director of National Counterterrorism Center effective today. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran poses no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. It says it has been an honor serving under the president and also DNI Gabbard, which is Tulsi Gabbard, of course, and leading the professionals at the NCTC. God bless America, says Joe Kent, who has been a warrior, warrant officer in the military, and an amazing warrior who paid the ultimate price, in my opinion. He's paid the ultimate price. Surely he has not lost his life, which we would be considered paying the ultimate price. But trust me, he lost his wife in war, bombed to pieces by a suicide bomber in Syria. He has paid the ultimate price. His kids don't have a mom. So one thing you can do is you can criticize, you can disagree, or you can agree with the decision that he made by resigning his position. But one thing you cannot do, one thing I will not allow, and I'm nobody to allow or disallow anything, but I'm going to voice my opinion vociferously when it comes to defending American warriors and their opinions. You know what? Their opinion matters because they're the ones going out there getting their ass killed for their country. So I'm going to value their opinion. And if a soldier that is in a leadership position, like this one, being a veteran, of course, he's in another position, not being a soldier right now, but he's been there as well. 11 times deployed. 11 times deployed. I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to listen to what they have to say. And then I can agree or disagree. That's fine. But I'm not going to make a mockery, call him a traitor, or an anti-Semite. What did he do for Mark Levin to call him an anti-Semite? Mark Levin, I used to admire him. I liked his rant when it came a few weeks ago when we went and we attacked Iran because it meant something. He was talking about how many soldiers are walking around without legs, arms, because this regime wanted to hurt us, want to hurt us. I do agree with that 100%. But you don't have to hit below the belt and say disgraceful things to a warrior like Joe Kent. You don't get to do that, Mark Levin. You don't get to do that. And all of a sudden, Mark Levin is supposed to be the face of MAGA, according to the president, who I voted for. Is a conservative Hispanic male, U.S. veteran. I voted for Donald Trump because I didn't want to go to war anymore. And I also said, I understand if indeed what he's saying is true. I understand why we're going to Iran right now. A couple of weeks ago, I said that. But then things started to come up to flow. Things started to come up. You started seeing things. You start finding out certain things. And clearly, when the president speaks about this war, it feels at this point like there is no clear-cut solution or no clear-cut objective or where we're going, when it's going to end, or what's happening. So it feels like we're underprepared. I'm going to believe that because I voted for this man, and many of them, the majority of Americans did, that we're going to trust that he's got the best interest of America. But these minions going around disrespecting Joe Kent for resigning, doing the honorable thing. If I don't agree with my employer, I'm going to resign. That's the most honorable thing I can do. Bye-bye. I'm resigning. I'm gone. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, or whether you agree with it or not, that's irrelevant. Irrelevant. But to diminish this man's character and honor for what he has done for our country, that's something I'm not going to take lightly. I'm not. So that was the resignation part of Joe Kent. But what else has been happening? Why am I upset with what's going on? I mean, it is. By the way, actually, I'm upset. You know what I'm upset about? Number one, I'm upset because Donald Trump called him weak or soft. One of the two words yesterday. And the problem with Donald Trump now is that every time something doesn't go his way, he immediately goes to attacking, hitting below the belt. When he said this, when he appointed him, it is my pleasure to nominate Joe Kent as the director of National Counterterrorism Center. As a soldier, Green Beret, and a CIA officer, Joe has hunted down terrorists and criminals his entire adult life. Above all, Joe knows the terrible cost of terrorism. Losing his wonderful wife, Shannon, a great American hero who was killed in a fight against ISIS, Joe continues to honor her legacy by staying in the fight. Joe will help us keep America safe by eradicating all terrorism, from the jihadists around the world to the cartels in our backyard. Congratulations, Joe. What happened? Some people are saying, wait. Because they bring up Joe Kent's post of the past, praising, even the last one, taking out all the missiles, all the nuclear facilities, that the uranium that Iran had. Remember the first attack about a year ago? Everybody praised that. Who wouldn't be happy with that? A couple of airplanes from Missouri going over there, bombing the place out, coming back. Wonderful, wonderful mission that I applauded, and I applaud. But this is different. This is going to war. And we have deployed thousands of Marines going to the Middle East that are going to be there in the next week or so. Thousands of Marines going over there. You tell me why. My brother-in-law was in the Navy. I was in the Army. My wife was in the National Guard. We know about this. I'm going to defend an American soldier to the death. To the death. So something is going on. My problem is that Donald Trump didn't just say, you know what, it wasn't for him. He decided to leave. He didn't agree with it. Fair play. He's off. He had to attack him, and that is my issue with this particular case. Now explain to me, this is Mark Levin as soon as this was announced. I wonder if this guy Joe Kent was about to be fired, but quickly resigned first. That's how things typically work. He's a part of that radical, isolationist, woke, right cabal. Really? Why did you have to go there? Watch how the left-wing media use him to attack the president and the military campaign against Iran. In part, that's why he wrote that letter. I wonder if he was one of the leakers in the administration. Just asking questions. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? You're going to make these allegations without any proof? Because if it is proof that he's leaking stuff, like many other politicians are saying, if that's true, then I expect Joe Kent to be in court. And if there's proof of this, clear proof of this, because there should be, then I expect him to be living in Leavenworth for the rest of his life for treason. So I'm assuming there is a lot of proof to indicate there's Mark Levin, the new face of the MAGA movement. I hope that there's a lot of proof. Or else, maybe Mark Levin should be sued. Be careful, Mark Levin. Megyn Kelly already threatened to sue you for not leaving her alone on social media. And just quickly, this is MAGA now, folks. These are the MAGA phase of today. It used to be real Americans. It used to be veterans. It used to be conservatives that wanted no more wars. The money kept in the USA for the American people. Now this is the phase of the MAGA movement right here. Mark Levin, this other Jewish guy that I don't know who his name is that was on Piers Morgan the other day. Lindsey Graham, who said, "I will serve Israel. I will fight for Israel." Are you kidding me? You're supposed to be serving the United States of America. Priorities are upside down, ladies. Meghan McCain, who I don't know what she's doing there, to be honest, but it is what it is. Laura Loomer, she's a lunatic. And I hear that the President Trump has her in his ear all the time. Laura Loomer, who they destroyed her face on that picture, by the way. That's not my picture, but she kind of looks similar anyway. Are you kidding me? These are the new MAGA faces? President Netanyahu? Rabbi Shmuley? I mean, what is this? You resign from your position because you don't agree with the war, and all of a sudden you become an anti-Semite, ladies and gentlemen. That word means nothing in today's age anymore. Absolutely nothing. Because anybody gets called that, just like I defended Trump when everybody on the left called him a Nazi or Hitler. That word means nothing anymore, I said at the time, because you just throw it, we just throw it out as if it means nothing. Well, the word anti-Semite and anti-Jew, that's exactly what it means now. Absolutely nothing. Because you dare just say, criticize anything from Israel, and all of a sudden you become an anti-Semite. Or a jihadist, for lack of a better word. It's a shame. An unbelievable post by Lauren Culp. Thank you very much. You're a real piece of crap, he tells Mark Levin. How many Bronze Stars did you earn? Joe has 6. How many years did you serve? Joe served 20. How many tours in combat did you serve? Joe did 11 combat deployments. Did you lose your mom? Did your kids lose their mom in combat? Joe's did. How many of these do you blame? Army condemnation medals. How many of these do you have? He asks Mark Levin. Army commendation medals, combat infantry badge, special forces tab, Rangers tab, military freefall parachutist badge, scuba diver badge, etc. He says, if you're so hot on fighting a war, suit up and go. But you won't. You'll sit behind your computer in your air-conditioned office and squeak like a little bitch. This is, of course, Joe Kent and his beloved wife, who he lost in 2019. And those poor kids without a mom. Mark Levin, shame on you. Shame on you. I mean, literally, it's a shame on you. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible what's going on. Now look at this lunatic, Laura Loomer. Joe Kent is a pathological liar, she says, and a con man. What? Here he is, in his own words, calling for President Trump to attack Iran in 2020. So what's changed, Joe Kent? Today you claim Iran isn't a threat. Here you are, in your own words, saying Iran is a threat and calling for Trump to bomb Iran. Why are you pretending you never posted this? It doesn't really matter. You can bomb Iran at the time and think you want to bomb Iran, which nobody's a fan of Iran or the Iranian regime, to be honest. No one is a fan of them. But you have to do it strategically, and it has to have a reasoning. I don't know if we have enough to bomb them. Maybe we do, and that's fine. You can disagree with Joe Kent. That's absolutely fine. There's no problem in that. However, you do not get to insult and be disgraceful to a warrior who fought for this country and paid the ultimate price for it. You do not get to do that, Laura Loomer, or else you would have been out there in war defending Israel. But you don't, because you're a coward. You're a coward. Carrie Prejean Bowler, she's been very active now in social media after being kicked out of this Liberty Religion group in the White House. We started this war due to pressure from Israel, and he was quoting Joe Kent, and she's been an advocate of this, whole Israel agenda. She says, absolutely, hero, thank you for standing up against this blasphemous, heretical, unjust war. I don't know that the war is unjust, but I will always defend an American hero, regardless. And I don't like when the president goes below the belt and calls him soft and weak. That's not right. It's not cool, man. It's not cool. And the president needs to chill out. Have some common sense and don't stop flip-flopping. Stop flip-flopping it. And now we're going to have Lindsey Graham. What did he have to say about Joe Kent? Of course, he's not an idiot. Well, maybe he is. But he's not going to insult Joe Kent. But maybe I'm wrong. Let's go and listen to what he had to say.
To my friend Joe Kent, who's a decorated war veteran who lost his wife in Syria, what are you doing? You're giving aid and comfort to a lie. There was an imminent threat. How much more imminent could you be within 2 weeks having enough material to make 10 bombs? How close could you come? Not much. To my friend Joe Kent, who's a decorated war veteran who lost his wife.
So, to be fair, nothing inflammatory as of that, as far as that video is concerned. But at the end of the day, this guy has been speaking some nonsense that is unbelievable to bear, to be honest. The amount of crap he's been talking. Ben Shapiro also has something to say about this whole situation. Oh my goodness. Ben Shapiro talking about somebody going against Israel. Well, I mean, let's take a listen.
Joe Kent quit his job at the National Counterterrorism Center and issued a scathing letter designed to undermine President Trump. The letter is deeply, deeply conspiratorial. It states openly that, quote, Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. Now, that is conspiracy trash. It's also kind of strange since President Trump has said that it's conspiracy trash. So apparently, Trump is so deeply, deeply enthralled to those strange, powerful American lobbies. We're not going to say it. That he apparently has been so bamboozled by them that he's still under the impression that he's his own man. But here's the thing. President Trump is his own man. He makes his own decisions. And as per our usual arrangement, Trump's critics are cowards who are simply unwilling to acknowledge that Trump is the one making the call. But Joe Kent continued, quote, early in this administration, high-ranking Israeli officials and influential members of the American media deployed a misinformation campaign that wholly undermined your America First platform and sowed pre-war sentiments to encourage a war with Iran. This echo chamber was used to deceive you into believing that Iran posed an imminent threat to the United States and that should you strike now, there was a clear path to a swift victory. This was a lie and is the same tactic the Israelis used to draw us into the disastrous Iraq war that cost our nation the lives of thousands of our best men and women. Again,
listen, regardless, to be fair, Shapiro, well, he called him a coward. He called him all that. And that's the problem that I have. Not that you disagree or agree with whatever he's doing. If you don't think he was right to resign, well, that's not really your call anyway. That's his. Fine. You don't agree with it. Bye-bye, Joe Kent. Have a good life, etc. He resigned, but no need to attack an American warrior. No need for it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Especially when he has paid the ultimate price. It's that simple. In this particular clip that we're going to play from Bongino, he was on the Laura Ingraham show, and I mean, I don't think he said anything bad in particular. Let's take a listen to him, but let's see. If you just disagree, then I don't have an issue with it. But if you are going to attack this man, I do have an issue with it. Let's go.
Dan, now we've seen this before, right? And it's usually people who are really have gone hard left on everything. George Conway, Liz Cheney, John Bolton, John Kasich. The list goes on and on. You turn on Donald Trump, and they embrace you for a time.
Yeah, this is the whose ox is gored effect. I mean, I've seen it with me during, my tenure in the administration, where they'll pick some right-wing radio host or podcaster they hate, who they call the conspiracy theorist or a nut job. And the minute he says something against someone they hate, Donald Trump or, in my case, me, they'll be like respected voice in the conservative movement. They do this all the time. You're going to see this with Joe Kent in the coming days. Listen, Joe's decorated history of service is beyond reproach, and his sacrifice with his family is just unspeakable. I don't even like to think about
his
it.
wife, who passed,
however,
who was killed.
Yeah, I mean, her name is emblazoned on a plaque in a facility I can't really talk about. And when you read the story there, it's a tough story to read. But, again, as I've said with other, the sacrifice is beyond reproach. That doesn't mean that this current opinion is any more fact-based, because it's not. I'm really sorry, Laura. I mean, I read probably a lot more intelligence than he did, because they don't have a law enforcement function, the National Counterterrorism Center. They're an analytical clearinghouse. They're valuable. However, I had access to just about everything. And how you could come to the conclusion that the Israelis did it and there was no imminent threat here? Really? What about the anti-ship ballistic missiles, the drone program, 440 kilograms of 60% enriched nuclear material? Their constant death to America chance. I mean, that's called evidence.
Listen, that's fine. I don't have an issue with what Bongino said. Even the situation where left-wing media might go and, and portray Joe Kent as being a prominent conservative voice just to get clicks and to get people watching them and to create a narrative in a war and to make it seem like,
Dan, now we've
there's
seen
an
this
issue.
Before,
right? That's fine. That criticism is fine. That is legitimate. It is. I have a lot against those people disrespecting and being disgraceful to this man. He resigned. You don't agree with it? Perfect. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. I want to know your opinion. Smash that like button. Help the channel grow. Hit that bell for notifications. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me. I'm willing to accept it when I'm wrong. I don't think so, though. But I will defend any veteran that served the Army or any military force in the United States of America for standing up for themselves. I will always defend them.